I'm going to admit to you, I'm almost a little bit starting to think about maybe feeling kind of bad for the failed former president, Donald Trump. Look at the people that are interviewing him lately. Look at the sorts of appearances he's doing where he can't even be bothered to put a camera in front of his face. He's quite literally just phoning it in. And even with the friendliest interviewers, just making a complete and total fool of himself. Low energy interviews where Trump just tells a lot of the same lies he's told for a while. But you can tell even his heart's not even really in the lies. And the themes are delusion and the rewriting of history, confusion in many cases, as well as weaponized narcissism. Trump appeared yesterday calling in, of course, on Real America's Voice. And it's just bizarre that he's still trying to get away with these same tired lies. The host is completely friendly, and Trump still can't figure out a way to seem like a normal person. Here is Trump weighing in on the investigation into him. Trump says they should drop the investigation into what I did with all those classified documents because of the 12 documents that were left behind by Joe Biden somewhere that his lawyers immediately found and contacted the NARA, National Archives. Listen to this.
And you, of course, have been facing this situation with the special prosecutor. How does this change the equation with what you've been doing with the Justice Department to get this matter?
And remember, the question is, how does the Biden thing change your situation? The answer is not at all.
Resolved.
Well, I think it totally changes it. I mean, he's under this federal act that's very tough, and I was perfect under the Presidential Records Act. We were negotiating with NARA. Now, you know, NARA is a far left group of people.
That's not true.
I don't know if you know or if you've ever heard. They've essentially red flagged the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights. They said it's a dangerous document.
Yep.
I mean, this is what we're dealing with.
Yep.
These are people that, look, they have some real difficulties.
So listen, first of all, if you are accused of murder and then someone else gets accused of murder, they don't stop investigating you. They investigate both of you. And maybe of the two people accused of murder, one person did the thing and the other didn't. The fact that Trump is being investigated for taking, at his direction, tons of documents down to Mar-a-Lago, trying to avoid returning them, hiding them, moving them, on and on and on. The fact that Trump is accused of that has no connection whatsoever to the fact that a few documents were found by Biden's lawyers. They immediately called the National Archives and said, we've got to get these back to you. Investigate Biden for that. I'm fine with that, as I've said yesterday. But number one, it has no connection to anything that Trump is accused of doing. And number two, look at the differences in how they handled it, as we talked about yesterday. Trump then weighing in on the new speaker. And Trump, I guess, tries to make the case that he deserves the credit for Kevin McCarthy being speaker.
It came down to crunch time. You know, you had 20 people that were pretty hard line, and they happened to be very good friends of mine, almost all of them. I would say all of them.
Right.
And I would make them calls. I mean, because I didn't like what was happening, John. It was starting to look a little bit chaotic. It was starting to look a little bit not good.
You think?
Right.
And what happened is I started calling them, and I started getting people to agree with me and coming on board.
Right.
And as you know, Matt Gaetz is a very good guy, and he's a strong guy. And I called him.
Big, strong guy, and he was crying when I spoke to him.
And I mean, it was just about over where they were going to leave. And I think that if they left, think of it, if they left and you had 2.5, 3 days in between, I don't know that anything would have ever, you might have ended up with a Democrat, to be honest with you.
Trump wants us to believe that were it not for him, not only would McCarthy not be speaker, maybe Hakeem Jeffries would be the speaker.
I don't know that this thing ever would have gotten done. Your moderates would have left. Other people, it would have been a disaster.
Right.
And that's when Matt ran up to the front of the room and he said, I'm changing my vote. I'm changing my vote. And he's a great guy.
Yeah. Now, understand that after Trump issued a not quite full-throated endorsement of Kevin McCarthy for House Speaker, it took like 12 more rounds of voting before McCarthy ultimately became the speaker. And if we learned anything from the speaker vote, it's not how much power Trump still has. It's how diminished his power actually is. Trump then, of course, weighed in on one of his favorite topics, COVID, and favorite insofar as he loves to claim he did great on handling COVID when he was president. He did not do great.
doing it, and then we got hit with COVID,
Right.
and we had to help the people with COVID.
That's
If
right.
we would have done that, this country would have, I don't think it would have existed.
Right.
It was, we did a great job with COVID. I've always felt that, people give me a lot of credit on foreign policy and the economy and things,
No, they don't.
but they don't like doing it on COVID. I think I did among the best jobs on COVID because all of a sudden something came in that nobody had any idea what it was.
We were
Right.
flying
But we
blind.
knew it was killing a lot of people. And, I closed it to China when
So now COVID was serious in retrospect. Remember, 15 cases will soon be 0. Don't be afraid of it. It's fine. Now it's, it was terrible and I really handled it well.
a lot of people didn't want me to do that. Almost nobody wanted. That saved a lot of lives. But, the COVID thing, obviously we had to go guns a-blazing with the money, and we had no choice. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we had to.
Remember, 15 cases will soon be 0. What about injecting bleach? Don't be afraid of it. The shutdowns are worse than the disease, on and on and on. And the truth is, the proof is in the outcome. World leaders who handled COVID well were all easily reelected. And there is no doubt that Trump would have been reelected if he from the beginning had said, this is really serious and we're going to do the best job by being the most aggressive here. Let's all wear our masks. We're going to offer you MAGA masks that you can buy. Let's all do all these things. Instead, they went after an 80-year-old doctor. That's the approach that they ended up taking. Okay, last thing. Trump wants Hannity to write so that Hannity can get the Pulitzer and I guess bring back some prestige to an award Trump believes is no longer prestigious.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
you sued them.
To get the Pulitzer Prize for Russia reporting. And the prize reads to the effect on your great and brilliant reporting on Russia. Well, they got it wrong. It was the exact opposite. You should get the Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah.
Sean Hannity should start writing a little bit and get the Pulitzer Prize. Okay?
Hey.
You guys and Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah Carter,
There
right?
was a group of people that got it right from the
Jared.
beginning. And,
Yeah.
and I'm suing Pulitzer now because I'm saying you got to take the Pulitzer.
I'm suing Pulitzer now, completely deranged and delusional. And listen, how about just do the George Santos, claim that you got the Pulitzer Prize and the Nobel Peace Prize and whatever else, a Purple Heart, and you lived in the belly of a whale. Just claim that you did this stuff. But very, very strange. Trump deflated, Trump confused, Trump disoriented, but as narcissistic as ever, even in his rewriting of history. Maybe at some point soon he'll show his face in one of these interviews. That would be an interesting thing to see. But for a guy who criticized Joe Biden for campaigning from his basement, Trump's barely left his house since he announced he was running in 2024 back in November. Very strange stuff. One of our sponsors is Paired, the app for couples. Every day, Paired gives you and your partner questions, quizzes, games to have fun, to stay connected, to deepen your conversations and get to know each other better. What's great about it is you don't even have to be in the same room, especially with the baby right now. My girlfriend and I are quite busy, and Paired really helped us to stay connected. You get a daily question to answer. You can't see your partner's answer until you answer yourself, and they're questions about everything: relationship, life, intimacy, other things. And all of the exercises were developed by academic psychologists and expert relationship therapists as well. Questions like, what makes you feel lucky in your relationship? Great when you want to remember and have gratitude, a really great thing. What's an activity you could try together this month? Actually gets people thinking about things to do. It can go in really funny directions as well, but it just always feels like time well spent. Head over to paired.com/Pacman for a 7-day free trial and 25% off a subscription. The link is down below.